Juliet Elliott here for We Love Cycling. Now, it's the time of year where many of us are thinking about getting back outside on our bikes with our families if we weren't able to cycle throughout the winter. And I like to take this as an opportunity to kind of spring clean everyone's bikes and give them a proper checking over to make sure that they're safe for everyone to ride. So I have quite a few that I have to get through, and that's before I even get started on the adults' bikes, and they're all subtly different. So I wanted to show you how you can best check over your family's bikes, the stuff you might want to do yourself, and show you the things you might potentially want a bike shop to do for you. So let's get to it. Now, the most obvious place to start is by giving your bikes a good clean. It's probably my least favourite bit out of all of this. You don't have to have special stuff, but you might find that some drivetrain cleaner really helps get the grease and grime out of the chain and that area if it's been left on there all winter in a shed or something. Spray a bit of this on and then get in there with a toothbrush and give it a really good scrub to make sure that your chain is nice and clean. Once you've cleaned the whole bike, you can move on to what is called the M check, which is the easiest way to make sure that you're not missing anything when you check over your bike. You start at the back and essentially you are checking the bike in an M-shaped pattern. Now, it's probably a good idea to check the bike still fits your kid before you begin this process, although if you're planning on selling it on, it can be a good idea to do the M check before you list it. Certain brands of bikes do hold their value pretty well, so it is worth taking good care of your bikes and making sure that they are fit for sale when they're ready to go. So beginning with the back tyre, check for any wear and tear, check that the knobbles on knobbly tyres are still intact, and check whether the tyre has perished at all. If you left it outside or in a shed, should be quite obvious. Give it a bit of a squeeze, see if it still feels relatively supple, then make sure that you put in enough air, that they're at a good pressure. Often you'll find that there's a recommended tyre pressure printed on the tyre itself. Check that the wheel is in properly, that the quick release skewer or through axle is done up correctly. There shouldn't be any play there and it shouldn't wobble around. Give the spokes a good squeeze. They should feel solid, no loose spokes flopping around. If you do notice that your wheel is not true, not straight, that might be something that you want a bike shop to take a look at, because it's quite easy to overdo it when you're trying to straighten a wheel and end up tachoing it. We've all been there. Whilst I'm at the back, I like to check the drivetrain and the gears, check that everything is shifting nicely. You could put the bike in the stand or just pick it up and shift through whilst manually turning the pedals. Inspect the chain, and assuming that it's clean, put on some lube. Now, not all lube is made the same, so wet lube is designed to be much stickier to stay on during wet conditions. So if you put wet lube on, then go and ride in a load of dusty, dry conditions, all of that dust is going to stick to your chain. Try and choose the correct chain oil based on what you intend to be riding, or just go for a general purpose one that will do both jobs moderately well. Making my way up to the saddle, I want to check that that is done up properly, no wobbling around. This has got a easy adjust seat post clamp, so I just want to make sure that that is in working order. Down to the bottom bracket are the pedals and the cranks on securely. They do seem to be. So I'll continue up the frame, checking it for any cracks or obvious damage. Up at the front, I'm checking whether the brakes work and if they need any adjustment. Now, these ones are quite easy to adjust. If you've got hydraulic brakes, disc brakes, you might want to take the bike to a bike shop to have those done professionally. I also like to check the brake pads, see if there's enough left on them, and also check that they're aligned properly with the rim. You don't want to pull the brakes and have your brake pads squeeze onto the tyre, for instance. Another thing to check at this end of the bike is the headset. Turn the wheel and hold the front brake. Check whether you can feel any play when you move the bike backwards and forwards. Also check that it moves freely. Yes, it does. So now I just need to carry all the way down here, check the fork, check the wheel is done up, check, of course, this tyre. And that's it, you're good to go.